Dancehall me everything. Dancehall me everything. Dancehall.
Welcome and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Pebbles Hall. Thank you for coming back to watch me. If you're new here, consider subscribing to my channel if my content interests you. Okay, today's topic is something that I've wanted to discuss for a while, for the past 2 weeks or perhaps more than that. I had a write-up on this topic and I haven't had a chance to react on it. But today, I'm not going to let today pass without reacting on this topic, okay? And it's about the resurgence of dancehall music in the global arena. And the funny thing is, recently I saw a lot of people talking about that, and I'm like, they're in my head. They're thinking the very same thing. So I know that I'm not the only one who has noticed the resurgence of dancehall music in the global arena. So today, this is what we're going to talk about.
It's more make a pronouncement now, say. Officially, dancehall got to a big boom right now.
Something powerful is happening in the music industry, and it is impossible to ignore. While other genres are slowing down, dancehall music is back on top. Well, reggae and dancehall music, but reggae has always been, in the forefront in the global arena, but dancehall music in the past year has been riding the waves, and more so in the past couple months. Dancehall music has been selling out arenas in the United States and around the world. It has been commanding the biggest stages and the loudest crowds across the United States and around the world, from New York to California to Florida. These artists are not just pulling out little small tiny clubs like they used to be, like Club Amazura, whatever that club is called in Queens, Amazura, I can't remember the name of it. But they're not just selling out those little tiny clubs. They are selling out huge arenas in the United States, and not just in the United States, around the world as well. Let's start with Vybz Kartel. The man, the myth, the world boss. Yes, I said it. The king of dancehall. All right, let's start with him. He had 2 shows in New York that were sold out completely. He made millions and millions of dollars from those shows. He had a show in Florida. That show was sold out as well. And he is not stopping there. Ever since he was released from prison, yes, he was in prison, and ever since he was released from prison, it appears that he has had an influence on the resurgence of dancehall music. You can, give me your own opinion. Tell me what you think. If you think I'm wrong, don't be afraid to leave your comments in the comment section and say, you know what, Pebbles, you are wrong. This had nothing to do with Vybz Kartel, because other artists were here all along and they were selling out arenas way before Vybz Kartel came out of prison. I'm sorry, guys. I don't think so. Yes, they probably were, but I am seeing more arenas are being sold out since Vybz Kartel returned from prison. I live in New York, so I know. And the other day, a little birdie came and whispered in my ear. They're like, have you seen how these artists are selling out these arenas? Listen, no other artist is selling out arenas in New York like the reggae artists, like the dancehall artists. Something is happening. And Vybz Kartel is not stopping there either, because recently he announced that he's having some sort of summer tour all over Europe, and within 1 minute or 2 minutes he was sold out, I think, and in London, which is the UK, but he was also sold out in Germany, if I'm not wrong. But he is having concerts in all those areas as well, and they are sold out within minutes. So are you telling me that Vybz Kartel does not have an influence on the resurgence of the dancehall music that is happening right now around the world, outside of Jamaica? Are you telling me that? Let's continue. Okay, so yes, like I said, he also released his fully booked schedule for Guyana, Trinidad, St. Kitts, and I think Costa Rica. Now there have been a few hiccups. I'm not going to say that in this dancehall industry abroad or the global arena there are not going to be some hiccups. He did a wonderful show in Guyana. It was sold out to the max, okay? He did a wonderful show there. Now he was booked for Costa Rica, and I'm not sure that show went on. Something happened, and he did not perform. He went to Costa Rica, but he was not allowed to perform because of permit reasons. Now, I've heard that he was supposed to perform in Trinidad just yesterday, but there has been some issues with the Trinidad government not wanting him there, so there has been some ongoing issues, but I thought that was okay and worked out, but apparently other issues arise from the promoter and him not agreeing to a certain dollar amount that he was supposed to be paid. So that show did not happen. Well, the show happened, but without him. He did not perform in Trinidad. I will not get into that detailed as to why, because I don't know the full specifics as to why he didn't perform. But according to reports from him, he said that he was not paid the amount of money, or there was some contractual discrepancy. I think the promoter did not honor the contract, and as such he was forced to cancel his performance. The show went on with other people, but he did not perform at that concert. Okay? Now that is sort of an ongoing conflict, but these things happen in the music industry all the time. There's nothing new, I'm telling you, that you haven't heard before. So like I said, he had 2 shows in New York and 1 in Florida, and those went on perfectly and everything went well, and they were all sold out. The demand for Kartel is global. The street never forgets. And it appears that Kartel is making a lot of money on this, because I was surprised when the issue with the Trinidad show being canceled, and what was mentioned from the promoter that he was paid, he charged $1.3 million for that performance for one night in Trinidad. One night, imagine, in Trinidad. So imagine how much money he charged at the Barclays Center. Imagine how much money he charged at the Florida Stadium. Okay, and he did 2 nights at Barclays. So he's making a killing from these shows. Okay, so you're telling me that dancehall is not on top? They're not just selling out arenas, they are making bank. They are making money from these shows. These are not a few dollars that they're making. This is a lot of money that they are making from these shows. Okay, let's not forget about, people like Bounty Killer, who is back in the US. A lot of these artists seems to be getting back their American visa recently, okay? So that their work permits as well. You can't perform on your regular visitor's visa. You have to also have a work permit. So a lot of these artists are getting their visas back, their visas renewed, and Bounty Killer is one of those artists. Right now, he's advertising for his concert, which will be on, I think, July 5th, okay, the Independence Weekend, and this will be at the Barclays Center. I think the show is also sold out, and as we all know, Bounty Killer with his unique voice, his unique sound will listen, he will, okay, his show is going to be phenomenon. So if you didn't get your ticket, I feel sorry for you. And we all know how huge this Barclays Center is. For reggae artists and dancehall artists to be selling out the Barclays Center, this is a big thing. You can't tell me that this is not a global phenomenon. It is a global phenomenon, whether you want to acknowledge it or not. It is a global phenomenon, okay, that is happening to the dancehall artists and the dancehall culture. The Warlord's visa, like I said, was reinstated, so he's booked and busy and he's blazing the scene. Meanwhile, legends like Buju Banton, who, you know, performed as well in the United States prior to Vybz Kartel and everyone else, he sold out many venues in the United States. He sold out the Barclays, he sold out the UBS Arena, and I think he had a one-night deal in California somewhere recently, or I'm not sure if it's supposed to be upcoming, where he will be performing as well. And I'm 100% sure that that venue will be sold out as well. Buju Banton and Beenie Man is also killing it. Beenie Man was at the UBS Arena just recently, and he did a phenomenal job performing on stage with other artists. As we know, people say he's also the king of dancehall. We can have two kings. Why do we have to pick and choose and say, no, he's not the king, the other one is the king? They're both kings. They're both, you know, they both have their unique way of performing, and people have, you know, their preference. Some people like both of them. Some people like the lyrics of Beenie Man, Zim Zimma, who got the keys to my bimmer, and then there are some people who prefer Vybz Kartel and, you know, his vulgar lyrics. Even though recently one of his best song was talking about God. Okay, God is the greatest, ever since he was released from jail. So people have different tastes and they have their favorites, so I'm not going to separate any of them. I'm thinking that both of them are kings, and it's okay. We can all have two kings, we can have two thrones. It does not matter. Okay, yes, it's a lot of kings we have out there. You can't just say it's just one king. It's a lot of them out there. Okay, they're still dominating stages, as I said, looking tours across the US, packing venues and places like that. Then as well in the United States, as well as the UK, Iona, still filling out arenas as well, not just simple little small clubs. These guys are performing and they're doing well, you know, in the global arena. This isn't nostalgia. This is relevance reignited. Let's not forget the new generation as well. We're talking about Shenseea, who has performed at Coachella and other places around the United States as well. For a while she was living in America and trying to break into the sort of rap R&B culture, and that didn't happen, and she went right back to her roots because Shenseea saw it coming. She realized that, guess what, the global arenas is screaming for dancehall music. So she had to go right back to her roots. But let's not also forget Spice, doing her own thing, you know, making money for all these years. She is not a newcomer to all of this. She has been in the game for a while. She's the queen of dancehall. I don't care what anyone say. Yes, one queen. We have one queen, and that is Spice. You heard me. She has been tearing up the stages all over the United States. Okay, so I don't even have to mention her, okay, like I'm mentioning the others. Let's talk about Skillibeng. The new blood is taking over the streets and streaming platforms with his unique flow and trap-influenced dancehall sound. But he's also following the footsteps of the older guys who has laid the foundation for dancehall music. And he is doing well, as, you know, touring with some of these older guys, you know, making a stage presence performance on stage with some of these seasoned guys and breaking out into this industry. They're making money as well, and I'm happy that these guys who are seasoned in this dancehall industry are bringing these younger generation along with them so that they can get a piece of the pie abroad. Because as we all know, dancehall music is not really accepted in Jamaica. They're not making a lot of money from dancehall music in Jamaica, and to make the real money and to be recognized, they have to go abroad to make the greens, and this is what they are doing. So I feel sorry for those of them who really doesn't have an American visa, who is able to travel abroad to make the money. But what some of them are trying to do, they're, even though they can't come to the United States or go to the UK, they can go to the other Caribbean islands and they can make some money there. But I will discuss in my another video as to the reason why dancehall music is not respected or appreciated in the country where it was born. I can't mingle that topic with this one because that within itself is a deeper topic for us to deep dive into. Okay, so let's continue with this topic. And the funny thing is, when I was doing research for this topic today on the reasons why dancehall music is not accepted in Jamaica, I came across Oral Tracy, who I've watched several times because he is very interesting. He's a YouTuber, a blogger in Jamaica. He was discussing this very same topic about the resurgence of dancehall music in the global arena, and many people in his comment section literally came for him because he said that dancehall music is now bigger than Jamaica, and he has a point. It is. Dancehall music is now bigger than Jamaica, whether people want to accept it or not. Yes, it was born there, but what you have to realize that these people are making more money abroad. These arenas are being filled out by, yes, Jamaicans, but you have to understand that there are a lot of foreigners who are now getting more into dancehall music than ever before. And some people were in the comment section saying, oh no, it's Jamaicans because it's Jamaicans in the diaspora who are, supporting the dancehall artists. Yes, I agree, because Jamaicans are all over the world. But let me give you this example. How many Jamaicans do you think are going to be in that concert? Many Jamaicans. But of course, there will be non-Jamaicans from that country who will be attending Vybz Kartel concert as well. Do you think it was sold out only because of Jamaicans? No. Whether you want to believe it or not, dancehall music is global. If you didn't know, Japan, I remember years ago seeing Japanese dance to Jamaican music, dance to dancehall music better than a Jamaican could ever dance to dancehall music, and I was shocked. I didn't realize that they had their own club. One of the biggest reggae concert and dancehall concert is in Japan. Just for that person in Mr. Tracy's comment section who didn't know this, if you come over to my video to watch this, I'm just letting you know. Okay, so you're not going to tell me that it's only Jamaicans who feel the need to attend a dancehall or a reggae concert. Reggae and dancehall is loved all over the world, more so outside of Jamaica than it is in Jamaica. I can tell you this, okay? I can tell you this, but I don't want to discuss this. I don't want to go into this topic, why it's not love, especially dancehall music in Jamaica. And we can go into, Bob Marley and what happened to Bob Marley and how Bob Marley was not respected until he went abroad and they realized how much the foreigners loved him and how much his music was popular abroad. That was the only time that Jamaica decided that, oh, Bob Marley this, Bob Marley that, Bob Marley, he's one of ours. Don't you forget that. Okay, so it's the same thing that is going to happen to dancehall music, because now foreigners are loving this dancehall music, okay? And then once they see that foreigners are loving it, all the hip-hop artists, some of them want to do remixes with dancehall music. And, I find that Jamaicans love that. When they do the remixes, then that's when Jamaicans are like, oh my God, this is a dancehall, this is dancehall music, it's our music. But when it's from the artist, the Jamaican artist himself, they really don't want to recognize the music as theirs. They kind of, not all of them, I'm just saying, the bougie ones, they're like, oh, standoffish. Oh my God, what kind of music is that? But the minute Rihanna comes in and Drake comes in and do a remix with one of these guys like Skillibeng, suddenly the Jamaicans who are standoffish are bowing their heads like, oh yeah, Drake is singing our song. Listen. Tell me if I'm wrong, guys. So anyway, these artists are not being handed anything. You understand me? They're grabbing the mic, man. They're going for the money. They're owning what is due to them. Okay? And where is this all happening? Right here in America and around the world. At the UBS Center, at Barclays, like I said, in Florida, at all those arenas where only dancehall artists are consistently selling out these arenas. Other genres are struggling. I remember, back to you, Mr. Oral Tracy, because I left a comment in your comment section. I remember, I think a few years ago, and I'm hoping I'm not wrong with you on this. I remember you making a video stating that Afro beats surpassed reggae music and surpassed dancehall music a few years ago, and you were absolutely right. I remember in New York a few years ago, it was Afro beats, straight up, straight down. Anywhere I went, all I heard was Afro beats. When talking about Davido and what's the other one name? Davido, Burma Boy, and Wizkids. Okay, when Burma Boy was popular and Wizkid was popular and Davido was popular, let me tell you, Afrobeats was kicking in America, especially in New York. I couldn't walk outside and hear reggae music. It was mostly like Afrobeats everywhere. Every little club that you go to, it was strictly Afrobeats, straight up. But now, reggae and dancehall is back on top. I am sorry, I haven't heard about Burma Boy in a while. I don't know, but they're not at the top of the chart like they used to back in the day. You know, they're not. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, they're not, because dancehall has taken the crown back from them and they're at the top again. They're no longer dominating the global music scene. Yes, many thought reggae and dancehall faded for good. And honestly, I remember there were a lot of free shows back then in New York City, in the parks in the summer. And I think one of the reasons why is because dancehall artists were very cheap, or reggae artists were cheap. So the people who, you know, put on these shows in the park, they could basically pay them little or nothing and get them to perform. This year, let me tell you, in the parks that used to be popular, that we used to have these reggae and dancehall artists, not one Caribbean artist is performing for free in one of these parks. Not one of them. 2 years ago and last year, we had a bunch of them. I could have picked, choose, and refuse which artists I could go to see for free in New York. Not this year. I haven't seen one. Okay? A lot of them. They performed free of charge. Burning Spears. Listen, you go to the park, free concert. Maxi Priest. Now, not one of them. Luciano. Those people used to perform free in the park. Now they're not. They're not, because guess what? Their value is up again. And that's why you can't get them to perform for little and nothing or for free anymore. So, like I said, today, dancehall and reggae music is back with a vengeance. Not watered down, not reinvented, just raw, authentic, and unstoppable. TikTok trends has had a lot to do with this. Because remember, back in the day, we didn't have a lot of this TikTok stuff. And a lot of promotion goes on TikTok. Believe it or not, like, the social media thing can break you or make you. And the social media thing is making this dancehall popular in the global arena. So yeah, TikTok trends is really helping. And the truth is, this is a comeback rooted in culture, identity, and power. People are reconnecting with the rhythm, with the rebellion, with the message. This isn't just a moment. It's a movement, a Caribbean cultural takeover built on a legacy and loyalty. It is a movement. That's exactly what it is. The fans really never left, though, even though, you know, for a while it was suppressed and overpowered by Afrobeats. If you're a dancehall fan once, you're a dancehall fan for life. For life, okay? If you love the music and the music is in you, for life, you will be a dancehall fan. And in fact, I will talk about Lisa Hanna, who has mentioned that she has been a dancehall fan for, you know, as long as she could remember. And she is she could be seen as the bougie uptown girl, but she is different. Lisa Hanna is different from the rest because she loved her reggae music. She loved her dancehall music. She loved her music. In fact, Spice is her best friend. I was kind of surprised because those two are like two opposite. The fans never left, the artist never quit, and the culture never died. It was reloading and it is back. They are filling arenas, heading to festivals, blasting from every speaker, every corner, every street party, and they're doing it while staying true to their own roots. This is more than music, man. This is a resistance, it's a revival, it's redemption. Dancehall and reggae is no longer underground, or dancehall music is, to be specific, is no longer underground. They are the mainstream right now. They are taking global stages by storm. It's either you in there or you are out there, because the Caribbean, listen, the Caribbean birthed this type of music, and it is, you trust me, if you don't know about Caribbean music, you better Google it. All right. The Caribbeans not just influence the culture, it is the culture. It is the culture. Music is the Caribbean culture. It is. Dancehall and reggae music is the culture of Jamaica. It's not going anywhere. Even though once in a while it may be suppressed because someone else comes along and overpowers it, it doesn't die. It's just sleeping for a little bit until you wake it up. And I do believe that Vybz Kartel has a lot to do with the resurgence of the dancehall music on the mainstream and globally. I do believe that. Guys, a lot of you will not agree with me, but I think he has a lot to do with it. Him coming out of jail and just going out there and performing, and he does his best, at least when he performs, or I guess people are trying to make up for that 13 years that they missed. And I don't want to say that it has a ripple effect. Maybe it does on the other dancehall artists, because look, the moment he got his visa, then Bounty Killer got his visa back as well after 10 years, So are you telling me that this doesn't have a ripple effect? And even what I'm thinking is people are looking at him and saying, hey, look, man, this guy was in jail and he came out of jail and he's making this money. So it's sort of a competition, and sometimes a little competition is really, really good. That's what I think, that a competition is good because it pushes you to be better sometimes. When you have to compete with someone else, it pushes you to be better. And I think this is what is happening in the dancehall arena, in the dancehall world, with all those guys. Vybz Kartel, they see how well he's doing, they see how much money he's making, and they're like, no, man, I need some of this money. I got to step my game up. Let me try to get people to book me as well, because right now he's selling out arenas. I need to go out there and sell out arenas as well. And there's nothing wrong with a little competition. Tell me if you think that I'm wrong. Look at when we do track and field. There's used to be the competition between Jamaica and the United States of America. And what happens when there's competition? It only pushes the athletes to do better, okay? And to become number one. So this is what's happening in the dancehall industry right now, the dancehall arena right now. The only thing that I am sorry for is that, and Lisa Hanna touched on this the other day, when she mentioned that, listen, this is sort of a gold mine right now. These people are making a lot of money in the United States, which means that this money is not being spent in Jamaica. This money, they're making the money in America and they're spending the money in America. Because if you think about it, look at Vybz Kartel. He left Jamaica. He moved away. He bought 2 homes in Florida, and he bought 3 vehicles in Florida within 1 month.
Is that tape? That's on a rate. Member of Vybz Kartel. And it's just a regular weekend. Grab few houses, grab a nice G-Wagon. Big up Jardine. She made everything possible. Fully active. Remember, God is the greatest.
Or 2 months. In a short period of time. That's all I'm saying. So this money that they're making, Jamaica is missing out on this money, because it's not going back to Jamaica. They're spending the money here. If you see how Vybz Kartel is spending, all his money is in Louis Vuitton, houses, cars, and having a good life in America. How sad is that? That because Jamaica does not embrace the dancehall music, that these artists have to take their money out of the country. They have to literally, a lot of them, remove themselves from Jamaica. So Jamaica is not getting a piece of the pie. And this, like Lisa Hanna has said, is a gold mine. But Jamaica doesn't even have an arena for reggae or dancehall music for these artists to call home. There is no home in Jamaica for these people. But it's born there, but outside, you know. So they have to leave eventually. And because they're not accepted in a certain class and they're not treated a certain way in Jamaica, they're not respected, these people have to leave. And when they leave, nothing out of it. And Lisa Hanna discussed this the other day. I will leave a clip right here of her. She's my favorite politician, by the way. I love Lisa Hanna. Girl, love her. She's so cool. She's so down to earth. So let's listen to her talk about, you know, how Jamaica doesn't really care for some of the artists, and how this is sort of a gold mine that they're literally giving away, when they could really, you know, use this as an avenue to make money and bring money into the country. Yes, they have the Sunsplash and the, you know, maybe one or two other shows, but that is absolutely nothing to compare to what these guys are making in America. $1.5 million, and it's all being spent in America. None of it is really going back to Jamaica, or if it's going back to Jamaica, it's only going to be a few pennies. That is really sad. So let's listen to Lisa Hanna.
What if I told you that the most influential music movement in the world today, the one that's rewriting global charts, packing out stadia, if you're British, and fueling billion-dollar industries, was born right here in Jamaica. And yet, we don't have a single world-class venue to honor its greatness. So let that settle in. Because make no mistake, dancehall is not local anymore. It's global, it's powerful, it's profitable, proving what we've already known for decades, that dancehall is an economic juggernaut. It's a titan. And yet here at home, we don't have no O2 Arena. We're not in a Madison Square Garden. We don't have a concert-ready design. The Caribbean only accounts for 0.5% of that market. 0.5, little bit, less than 1%, despite the fact that our sounds and artists are driving some of the world's biggest trends. And that's a tragedy. A tragedy.
Anyway, guys, that's all I have to discuss with you today. Tell me what you think in the comments section. Tell me if you believe that dancehall music is really on top in the global arena, and tell me if you think that Jamaica could really do better in terms of providing some sort of a home for dancehall music, so that they can be more respected, so that they can kind of keep some of the money, you know, in Jamaica. If they can probably recognize the dancehall artists a little bit more, and as such they won't be forced to leave Jamaica because they're not respected, they're not loved there. They go to all the other Caribbean islands and they're loved in all the other Caribbean islands by the leaders of those islands. For example, you know, when Vybz Kartel went to St. Vincent, I think the Prime Minister of St. Vincent welcomed him. They all loved him. Panama, they all love him in these other countries. But in terms of Jamaica, and we kind of know why that is, but it's not just Vybz Kartel. It's many of the other artists as well. So there is something there that they're not really recognized, and as such they decide to leave Jamaica and seek residence elsewhere. And when they do that, then they take all the money out of Jamaica as well. Okay, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. I'll try to make a video on why they are not respected. I will go into more detail as to why they're not respected in Jamaica, some of the reasons why they're not respected in Jamaica. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye bye.